Let's jump in and get started, and I'll just introduce myself again. My name is Ken Winter. I've worked at the VDOT Research Library since 2002. Talk a little bit today, very quickly and informally, about the library, when it was created, where it's located, what we do and for whom, and just a few of the things that we do, starting with the basic level here. Hopefully can you see my screen all right? Hopefully you can and hear
Yeah, I
me.
see a Google.
Okay, perfect. So my first real big point here is that you do not need to come to the library in person to use us. You can find us.
Right.
We're fully virtual. So I'm just doing a Google search here, and I'll take you to the library's website, and I'll start at the main homepage here. So a key point, you don't have to visit us in person to take advantage of the library. We are fully virtual, but we do have a physical presence. We're located at the University of Virginia grounds in Charlottesville, and we are a part of the Virginia Transportation Research Council, but the library is for any VDOT employee, all right? So that is a really critical point. Most all of our collections and services are available online. A real broad, easy way to conceptualize what the library does is we focus on transportation. We do focus on research, but we have all kinds of data and information and best practices that speak broadly to the many types of things that go on at VDOT, which is a very diverse organization. So we've got collections that you see right here, and then we've got services. And I'm just going to touch on a few of these. I'll point out from collections, there's a lot of different databases that we have, including subscription databases in this A to Z resources list. So some of these are subscriptions, and we can kind of narrow by type and see if we wanted to just show me the 21 subscriptions you have, or you might want something broader that speaks to one of these filters. You can narrow it in other ways as well. I do recommend that you start your work from the library website. It may be, for example, you might have seen Science Direct or ASTM Compass or one of these other databases. It may be that you're out there in Google land and you stumble across one of those databases and you try to use it and you can't get in, even though VDOT has a subscription. So if you start from here, you know that you'll always be able to get in. So ASTM Compass is a great example here. It's got all the full text of all the ASTM standards, as well as AASHTO standards, lots of ebooks, tons of other stuff. So if you start from the library, the key message is the odds are very high that you'll be able to connect to what you need. And we'll talk about paywalls and other stuff in a second. But the first thing that I wanted to show you very quickly is our library catalog. You can get to it right here from the main page, or you could come to library catalog here if you want to do that. We have over 60,000 volumes in our library's hard copy collection, and more than 100,000 ebooks in the catalog as well. It's taken me a second to connect here, so I'll just type in a term. So the term asset management came up, so I'm going to go ahead and type that in just to show you anything here about how this catalog works. It's going to start showing you our holdings, and these are holdings that are looking for these words in the title. There are lots of other filters that you could use to narrow down and focus your search. And so right away what we're seeing is content from AASHTO, from TRB, some of the core publishers. These are materials that are not held by public libraries or academic libraries. So this kind of speaks to the specialized nature of what we do. So again, just real quick, jumping in the first thing I see. Key things you want to look out for here is, okay, this is something I might be interested. I go to the full record. I'm reading this abstract. I'm getting to understand what this is. Let's say you want to check this thing out. First thing you want to do is check and see, okay, it is available. It is circulating. That means that we lend it. Now, you don't have to come to the library. You could call us, you could email us, whatever works for you. If you have a library card, which we want every VDOT employee to have if they want it, you can just log in here. Hopefully I typed accurately. So you need to be logged in or signed in to do this, but just a quick demonstration. Let's say you wanted us to pull this item from the shelf, check it out to you, and ship it to you, all of which we will do for free. Just gonna throw this note in
I
here.
see. Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna let my colleagues know that this is just a test. I don't really want you to ship this to me, but like many of you, I am actually a full-time teleworker as well. So this is handy. All right, so that's a quick look there. And if I back up, I'm going to show you some of the other records that we saw. Let me return to my search here. Now, some of these might have a link to full text. I'm not going to go into these. Some of these are freely accessible links, and some of them are links to ebooks in our subscription databases or a file on a VDOT server. These things should work for VDOT employees. If you ever have a connection problem and you're wasting a bunch of time trying to get the full text of the thing, just contact us. We'll help you out.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a very quick look at the library catalog. I will mention again these subscription databases, and I'll go into ASTM Compass. It's one of my favorite ones here. And if you're an engineer and you use standards, this is an amazing resource. We're starting to move to single sign-on, so it should be recognizing you automatically if you've logged into the VDOT network. However, if you're not on the VDOT network, let's say you're on a home computer or at a conference or a mobile device, you should still be able to get to the resources as well, including our subscriptions. So I'm not going to do a full search. There's probably, gosh, I don't know how many tens of thousands of items in the system. I'm just going to go to one that I went to recently. So the key here is that we do provide extensive access to the full text of these resources. This is the kind of thing that if you just start at Google and you needed this standard, which is taking a second to load, of course. And so I'm going to actually download it. Maybe the PDF will come up faster. But if you did need to get to this thing, you're going to get hit a paywall, and it's going to say, you know, put your credit card information in here, or you only registered users have access. You and your within your VDOT district or division, or as a VDOT employee, don't need to do that. Contact us instead. Odds are VDOT might have a subscription. If we don't have a subscription, we have a document delivery service for that. So yeah. So back to the library website. You see a couple of other things. We have extensive services. The one that I'll mention is what if there's a document or a book or a report or a standard or an article that I need that is not available. I can't find it anywhere. And again, if you're spending a ton of time, don't do that. Just come to the website. You can go to ILL and document delivery, which is one of our key services. And here we see my great friend Barb Nyman, who staffs the service. All you have to do is pull up this online form, plug in the details, name, etc. Let's say it's an article that I want. You're going to put the title and other key details. You're verifying that you're a VDOT employee, and you'll use the material we'll get for you in a copyright compliant way. You hit send, and it's going to come into us. It comes into a ticketing system, and we will respond to that, hopefully by either getting you a copy from our collections, which we might pull from our shelf and scan. We might pull it out of a database. We might find it publicly accessible, or we might borrow it from another library. So that's a tremendous service. We have some other services. I won't go into great detail unless you'd like to talk about them, but I will demonstrate one other feature, which is there are multiple ways that you can contact us, and I'm going to just show you the live chat. Let's just say I'm in Salem, and I'll initiate this chat. So this is a live chat service staffed during normal business hours, and hopefully one of my peers is on the other end of the line and will pick up. And there she is.
There's Barb.
Yeah, so this is a neat service. You can even attach it. Let's say you had a list of 5 citations. I could attach that and upload that as a file. I could ask any follow-up questions and either get the information I need real quick here. If you want to do it this way, you can also text message us. You can fill out an online form like that ILL form. You can certainly email us. The key thing is to know that we're here and it's our job to help. So I'm going to say bye, Barb. and then I'm going to close this chat. And I'm going to say it was a great chat. There we go. So that is probably a good quick look. And instead of continuing to talk, I'm going to circle back and see if you have any questions.
Yeah, seems like some great services. So I'm coming in from the project management world. We aren't necessarily digging into the technical details and that kind of thing, but sometimes, like to get an understanding when they're working on something or they have a technical challenge, just to get the background. So when I'm in the meetings and they're talking about it,
Yeah,
that can sort of follow along. I've got an engineering degree, so but I really shifted more into the management side
of course.
in terms of
Yeah.
my work. What's so who typically uses the library, and what are their, if maybe some members of my team needs things like this, who are you seeing typically come in here?
Yeah, that's a great question. We have a couple different classes of users, and starting within VDOT, our main purpose is to serve VDOT employees. So right there, we're connecting. But within that, some of those people have a specific need, like I need a copy of this book or this document. Let's say, for example, you have a member of your team who's studying for the PE and they want PE study materials. We have a collection of those things. And if you told them, hey, go check out the library, maybe they can help you out. They could either go into our catalog and look and see and place a request there or get in touch with us. That's a specific use case. More frequently, as frequently, people have a need for a specific standard, or they just need to get the full text of a known thing, and you can use us for that. Or let's say you've got a new challenge that VDOT is facing or you're facing, and you're trying to understand what's the current best practice for this area of expertise. What do the other DOTs do that's really outstanding? You can contact
Okay.
us and we'll do a quick literature search for you. Either we'll find an item or two and say, hey, maybe these articles or these published documents would be relevant. Or if you want us to be more thorough, we actually, I can share my screen again. We actually have a very robust literature search service. Request a search. So let me go here. And we actually archive those. And I'll just throw in some terms. I don't know if we've done any on asset management. Again, this is not your specific thing. So here's a great example. Field use of tablet computer system was pretty old. I did in 2013. But if you wanted to, you could take a look at that, or a more recent one. And if I can, hopefully this will pull up for me. What you'll see here is we've done a search. So we try to save your time. Certainly, we're set up for self-service, and I think out of the box, you and other people are set up for self-service by using Google, and people want to do that. But here we've gone in at the time. We found key points of contact. We've maybe assembled some information, and then a whole bunch of citations to potentially relevant content. And if you click on these links, hopefully they'll take you right to where you need to go. Yeah. So those are a couple use case scenarios. And
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to keep you on the line too long, but if you have other questions, I'm happy to help. If you want to send people our way, we would love that. Or if you want to provide some contact details, I can reach out to people on your team. The key thing is that you do need to be a VDOT employee. We do answer questions from the general public sometimes, or we route them. We work with people in other Virginia state agencies. We work with transportation researchers in Virginia and beyond. So we have a lot of different kinds of customers, but really, Albert, we want to connect with you and your staff if that's appropriate,
Yeah, this looks really good. Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, if you think of anything, if you want to forward our contact details along to anyone, let us know. We're here when you need us. I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me today.